Hey guys, so this is day 2 of being here at Mara West. We got here, I believe it was Sunday night, and then Monday we had a pretty cool outing. Do you want to tell us about it?
Sure, we actually went to a birthday party. It was the CEO's grandson, and we ended up going into the park and having breakfast right under this massive fig tree. It was beautiful. We hung out with a couple of families, and then afterwards we went on a very nice safari.
And it was kind of funny that you were talking about the fig tree, because they were talking about where to meet, and they're like, let's meet at the fig tree, and I was like, okay, I mean, there's probably a few of those in the park, but apparently it was a really massive fig tree.
It is.
But I just want to tell you guys a little bit more about the park. So this park is called the Maasai Mara National Reserve, and it's split into two sides, and kind of what's dividing it is the Mara River. So we're on the southwestern side, known as the Mara Triangle, and what's really neat about this side is their main route for migration into the Maasai Mara. So being in this part of the park, you're going to see the biggest part of the migrations. And then the other really neat thing is this area has a really high density of animal populations throughout the year. So pretty much any time that you visit here, you're going to see a lot of the animals, including the big five. And just yesterday, I mean, shoot, we saw all kinds of animals. What are some of the ones that you can think of?
Well, actually, that you were talking about the migration, there were so many wildebeest. They were there by the thousands, just migrating through. We saw lions. We saw several elephants. I think it's like pretty much a whole herd.
More than one, actually.
Yeah, true. And zebras, giraffes, and we actually saw this little family of wild boars, or what do they call them again?
Warthogs, yeah.
Warthogs. It was adorable. It was like the mom, the dad, and like 7 tiny warthogs just ran off. It was so cute. I wish I would have had a good picture of it, but it was way too far.
Yeah, I was trying to grab a shot of the warthogs, but like as soon as I got ready to shoot, they were bolting off in between the wildebeest. And you were talking about how there was a lot of wildebeest. Like to us, it seemed like a lot of wildebeest, but I was talking to Andy, and he was saying that actually there's not really that many wildebeest right now, and I guess because we've had some early rains, a lot of the wildebeest have kind of crossed back over into the Serengeti of Tanzania, or their migrations aren't quite normal. But the CEO of the park that we met yesterday, Brian, he thinks that the migration will still occur, but it probably just got pushed back a little bit.
Oh.
But I mean, for us, it's still a ton of animals. What else did we see? I mean, we saw like water bucks, we saw gazelles, right. Lots of zebras, giraffes, storks, all kinds of bird life. And that was just a brief morning in the park, so I'm really
That was just the first day, so it's so exciting just to figure out what other animals we're going to see on this trip.
And these African plains, it's just kind of a new sight. You know, you don't really see in the U.S. It's just like these open, like kind of like prairies with these kind of cool looking trees. I don't know the names of most of them yet.
Yeah.
And we haven't even made it to the Mara River yet, because sometimes you can see some crossings with them, some animal crossings there, as well as the crocs, and a lot of the water life I think will pull over to some of those water sites. But I'm hoping to start going into the park pretty frequently here with maybe my sister early in the morning to catch some sunrise shoots, kind of try to hit the golden hour of the morning and the evening. I did some photography and I got a few decent photos, but it was getting a little late already when we went in the morning, so you're kind of getting that overhead sun. We did have some cloud cover, so it was a little overcast, so here and there you could get some decent shots in as well. But anyway, it's going to be pretty exciting. And even here, just at camp, I mean, it's kind of a new thing. You know, you just be walking down the sidewalk over to the lodge and pass a couple giraffes and zebras, and
yeah, it's so bizarre. They'll just be right beside somebody's tent, just eating, just like deer in the U.S., but it's giraffes. So definitely neat.
And even the first evening that we got here, Natalie spotted a baboon right off the deck here.
Oh, right. And on our way here, there were just baboons on the side of the road just eating and looking at us like, what do you want?
And just kind of what makes this camp really neat. Mara West sits on the escarpment overlooking the Maasai Mara. So right now we're sitting on the deck of the little chalet that we're in, and I can see right into the park, and sometimes we can see elephants right from here. So it's crazy. And then what's really neat is it's next to another really large camp that I think the governor owns or has partial ownership of, and so he wanted a private entrance into the park. And it's right next to this park and cuts through kind of part of their land. And so it basically gives this park a direct access right into the Maasai Mara. So yesterday when we drove in, we just drove off the back end of this property, met the ranger at the gate, they let us in, and we were directly right into the Maasai Mara National Reserve, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So anyway, we'll throw some photos up here, and we'll probably be making some more vlogs. We're supposed to be doing a camping trip into the park possibly this coming weekend.
Coming up.
So that will give us access to some of the park hours where you can't really normally be in there when you're camping in there. And then so I'm hoping to get some neat images with that, and maybe shoot some like time lapses with the sunsets and the cloud movement or something, or some of the herds moving through. And then we've got a couple other little trips coming up, including going to, I think it's called Mombasa?
Mombasa.
Or Mombasa, I'm buggering that up. But we'll be staying actually north of there on the coast.
Yeah.
For I think 4 or 5 nights. So we're kind of looking forward to the rest of this trip. So far it's been really awesome.